The Bet and Other Stories written by Anton Pavlovich Chekhov. After the theater, Nadia Zelenina had just returned with her mother from the theater, where they had been to see a performance of Eugene Onegin. Entering her room, she quickly threw off her dress, loosened her hair, and sat down hurriedly in her petticoat and a white blouse to write a letter in the style of Tatiana. "I love you," she wrote, "but you don't love me, no you do." The moment she had written this, she smiled. She was only 16 years old, and so far she had not been in love. She knew that Gorney, the officer, and Gruzdev, the student, loved her, but now, after the theater, she wanted to doubt their love. To be unloved and unhappy, how interesting. There is something beautiful, affecting, romantic in the fact that one loves deeply while the other is indifferent. Onegin is interesting because he does not love at all, and Tatiana is delightful because she is very much in love. But if they loved each other equally and were happy, they would seem boring instead. "Don't go on protesting that you love me," Nadia wrote on, thinking of Gorney, the officer. "I can't believe you. You're very clever, educated, serious. You have a great talent and perhaps a splendid future waiting. But I am an uninteresting, poor-spirited girl, and you yourself know quite well that I shall only be a drag upon your life. It's true I carried you off your feet, and you thought you had met your ideal in me, but that was a mistake. Already you are asking yourself in despair, why did I meet this girl? Only your kindness prevents you from confessing it." Nadia pitied herself. She wept and went on. "If it were not so difficult for me to leave mother and brother, I would put on a nun's gown and go where my eyes direct me. You would then be free to love another. If I were to die." Through her tears, she could not make out what she had written. Brief rainbows trembled on the table, on the floor and the ceiling, as though Nadia were looking through a prism. Impossible to write. She sank back in her chair and began to think of Gorney. Oh, how fascinating, how interesting men are. Nadia remembered the beautiful expression of Gorney's face, appealing, guilty, and tender when someone discussed music with him. The efforts he made to prevent the passion from sounding in his voice. Passion must be concealed in a society where cold reserve and indifference are the signs of good breeding. And he does try to conceal it, but he does not succeed, and everybody knows quite well that he has a passion for music. Never-ending discussions about music, blundering pronouncements by men who do not understand keep him in incessant tension. He is scared, timid, silent. He plays superbly as an ardent pianist. If he were not an officer, he would be a famous musician. The tears dried in her eyes. Nadia remembered how Gorney told her of his love at a symphony concert, and again downstairs by the cloakroom. "I am so glad you have at last made the acquaintance of the student Gruzdev," she continued to write. "He is a very clever man, and you are sure to love him. Yesterday he was sitting with us till 2 o'clock in the morning. We were all so happy. I was sorry that you hadn't come to us. He said a lot of remarkable things." Nadia laid her hands on the table and lowered her head. Her hair covered the letters. She remembered that Gruzdev also loved her and that he had the same right to her letter as Gorney. Perhaps she had better write to Gruzdev. For no cause, a happiness began to quicken in her breast. At first it was a little one, rolling about in her breast like a rubber ball. Then it grew broader and bigger and broke forth like a waves. Nadia had already forgotten about Gorney and Gruzdev. Her thoughts became confused. The happiness grew more and more. From her breast it ran into her arms and legs, and it seemed that a light fresh breeze blew over her head, stirring her hair. Her shoulders trembled with quiet laughter. The table and the lamp glass trembled. Tears from her eyes splashed the letter. She was powerless to stop her laughter, and to convince herself that she had a reason for it, she hastened to remember something funny. "What a funny poodle," she cried, feeling that she was choking with laughter. "What a funny poodle." She remembered how Gruzdev was playing with Maxim the poodle after tea yesterday. How he told a story afterwards of a very clever poodle who was chasing a crow in the yard. Oh, you swindler. The poodle did not know he had to do with a learned crow. He was terribly confused and ran away dumbfounded. Afterwards, he began to bark. No, I'd better love Gruzdev, Nadia decided and tore up the letter. She began to think of the student, of his love, of her own loves. With the result that the thoughts in her head swam apart and she thought about everything about her mother. The street, the pencil, the piano. She was happy thinking and found that everything was good, magnificent. Her happiness told her that this was not all, that a little later it would be still better. Soon it will be spring, summer. They will go with mother to Gorbuki in the country. Gorney will come for his holidays. He will walk in the orchard with her and make love to her. Gruzdev will come too. He will play croquet with her and bowls. He will tell funny, wonderful stories. She passionately longed for the orchard, the darkness, the pure sky, the stars. Again her shoulders trembled with laughter and she seemed to awake to a smell of wormhood in the room, and a branch was tapping at the window. She went to her bed and sat down. She did not know what to do with her great happiness. It overwhelmed her. Dear God, dear God, dear God.